Hey, welcome to Half the Battle, and welcome to an episode that should have gone out last week, but then my computer broke. Fortunately, everything is fixed now, so we can soldier on. With that said, let's take a look at another franchise and see if it could work with G.I. Joe. This time, it's... I freaking love that theme tune!
Yep, it's M.A.S.K. For those of you not familiar, M.A.S.K, or Mobile Armored Strike Command, was a toy line that featured two groups of people wearing masks that all had their own power, as well as vehicles that could transform into, well, slightly different vehicles most of the time. They were made by Kenner. M.A.S.K fought the evil forces of Venom, aka a vicious evil network of mayhem. They had a cobra in their logo and were led by a masked guy in a blue uniform.
Cobra Commander is gonna sue somebody!
Yeah, I don't think it's that unfair to call M.A.S.K a cross between G.I. Joe and Transformers made by a rival toy company. While I remember M.A.S.K having just as much shelf space at the toy store as stuff like G.I. Joe and Transformers, it always seemed like it was the least successful of them. While G.I. Joe, Transformers, and He-Man all had revivals, M.A.S.K never really did. And all of those franchises got movies back in the 80s, except M.A.S.K.
Granted, all those movies had problems.
Like the Transformers one being part snuff film, He-Man going live action and mostly being set in contemporary America for some goddamn reason, and the joy that was the G.I. Joe movie.
I was a man. Yes. Oh, yes. I was a man.
Freaking bug people from the Himalayas, folks!
Actually, I guess M.A.S.K did get a movie, but they really didn't capture the essence of the toys or the TV series, and it starred Cher for some reason.
Another reason I think M.A.S.K didn't quite stay in the public eye as much as the others is due to characters.
I can pretty much name any G.I. Joe figure you put in front of me. Same with Transformers or He-Man characters, well, the ones that were in their cartoons anyway. Not so with M.A.S.K. Sure, I know Matt Tracker and Miles Mayhem, but I couldn't remember a single name of Mayhem's henchmen, nor most of the M.A.S.K team. I just don't find the characters that memorable. I have the same problem with the Hobbit movie, or the book even, really. I can't name all of the dwarves either.
Let's see, there's Thorin, Philly, Killy, Bomber, Bofer, Donner, Blitzer, no wait, that's the CNN guy, Blitzen, Huey, Dewey, Louie, and then there's Maud. See, it's impossible!
Whoa, it seems like I kinda started off on a tangent and never looked back. Let's just get to the actual question at hand. So, would this brand work with G.I. Joe? Well, practically speaking, there's a tiny problem there.
Tiny being the operative word.
Since the toy line was focused on vehicles, the action figures themselves were small. Very small compared to G.I. Joe. Hell, put next to each other, they look like hobbits. Now, for kids, this isn't really a problem, like I mentioned in my last review. They'll happily play with all their toys together, size difference be damned. The only problem would be trying to fit G.I. Joe figures in M.A.S.K vehicles.
We'll take the Spruce Moose. Hop in.
But, sir...
I said hop in.
For adult collectors, it's a little more jarring. I don't think we'd be happy with anything less than a new toy line with M.A.S.K figures and vehicles the size of Joe's.
The problem there was, well, money. Costs.
The vehicles would be far more expensive than regular G.I. Joe vehicles, because they'd have the transforming feature. Figures would be no problem. Hell, it's already happened. They released Matt Tracker as a Joe a few years back. Yeah, back in the 80s, Kenner was a rival toy company, so no chance of a crossover then, but Hasbro has since bought Kenner, getting their brands. Hasbro is actually a lot like Disney in that regard, buying up freaking everything and absorbing companies like a freaking Absorbaloff from Doctor Who.
And for all the Doctor Who fans who I just reminded of that episode, you're so welcome.
In conclusion, well, I suppose toys would be doable, albeit a little expensive. But what about the lore? Well, M.A.S.K and G.I.Joe seem perfectly compatible. So do Cobra and Venom, once Miles Mayhem settles his legal disputes with Cobra Commander regarding trademark theft anyway.
It may even happen.
Somewhere in development hell, Hasbro has a plan to create a shared movie universe with G.I. Joe, M.A.S.K, and other properties. Because once Marvel did it, everybody wants in on that gravy train. Hey, how's that working out for you, DC? But regarding a Hasbro shared universe,
I'll believe it when I see it.
still, a M.A.S.K and G.I. Joe team-up would get both thumbs up from me. Just for the love of God, don't include the annoying kid and his robot.
See you next time, everybody.